Today at Nick's Garage, Nick has the numbers matching 340 out of this 1972 Dodge Charger bolted to his dyno for testing. And he wants more power out of this 50-year-old engine than it ever made when it was new. Welcome back to Nick's Garage. Regular viewers will know that Nick loves to build big block engines and then test them here in his dyno cell. But today he has a numbers matching small block 340 out of a 1972 Charger lined up for a blast. It might not have the giant displacement of some of the beasts that have come to life at Nick's, but the client is still hoping for numbers far surpassing stock. Let's find out how Nick will respond to the challenge.
Hi, I'm Nick. Welcome to my shop. Yes, a while back we received a Dodge Charger 1972 from Texas that belongs to Brad. This car is equipped with the 340 small block with these small intake valves, cast iron intake, but Brad is looking for 350 to 390 horsepower. So what we did is we had the engine removed, dismantled, and of course we overhauled it. We went with the bigger valves, we went with a little cam, and we're also going to stay with the exact same cast iron intake manifold. And the exhaust manifolds we're going to scrap because they're like a 318 design, which I'm going to show you in the dyno room in a minute. In the meantime, we located a set of high-performance 340 exhaust manifolds, and we're going to try to make a lot of horsepower with that. Yes, we put a little cam, we raised the compression ratio, we put the bigger valves, and then now I have it on the dynamometer, which I want to show you viewers what it can do. A car like this, it's the Dodge Charger. Yes, it deserves a little bit more horsepower. Okay, so it's a small block, it's not a big block. But you know what, I don't blame Brad, and I like to go with a little bit more power. So we're gonna stay with the matching motor to this car, get him some power, and let's see how it goes. I just need a few more minutes to break in the cam, and then after that, we're ready for testing. So if you guys are on board to watch it, stay tuned and come along in the dyno room. These are exhaust manifolds for a high-performance 340. Look at the great difference right here. Take a good look. Totally different. I'll show you the other side also. This is the one that takes a very special exhaust manifold gasket that I was looking for. I'll show you why. This is the exhaust manifold that came with the car for 1972. So here's the high-performance exhaust manifold we found for a 340. And there is that special heat shield to protect the spark plug wiring or cables from not burning, because the manifold goes up, creates a lot of heat inside the chamber where the spark plugs are. So for that reason, I had to find this gasket. So I want to thank the viewers that got them there for me. You know, a lot of locations have them on for sale, display, but not in stock, out of stock, back order, whatever. But anyways, I'm lucky enough. I want to thank my viewers that located a couple of them for me. So Brad, if you're looking, there it is. And we've also removed the single point distributor and installed an electronic distributor that he wanted. And he also wanted me to get him an Edelbrock carburetor. I got one here. I'm going to test it. It's a 650. And I presume it should be okay. But if you want to go back a few years, many of my viewers are asking me, have you ever tested a Thermoquad carburetor? Well, I just received one this morning from Don Oak, right from Ontario, Cortes, Ontario. It came in this morning. I have not tried it on yet, because apparently this car came with a Thermoquad. I do not have it. This is one of my own. I had Donnie overhauled it for me, which, you know what, let's do some testing with the Edelbrock AVS2. Then if everything goes well, we'll go to the Thermoquad. But first, let's give it another 5 minutes to break in the cam. You know, I ran out of fuel working late last night. I got some more fuel. I'm going to put some right now, get it going, warm it up at the same time. And just for fun, I also repainted the exhaust manifolds so you guys can see the way that paint burns off. I'm just about to get it started up and warm it up and then do some testing, which I have not tested yet. I'm just hoping I pass those 350 HP. Torque numbers, I don't know. But anyways, let's hope this carburetor works. And then if it does well, we'll max out the horsepower and the torque. Then we'll go to the Thermoquad and we'll see the difference. The internals on this engine, when it came into my shop, it had a 30 overbore piston with the piston about 45, 50 thou below the deck. So what we did is we ordered a set of pistons 40 over so we could bring it as high as possible. And right now it's a few thou above the deck. So we did not have to deck the block. Also, we put a 202 intake valve, much bigger than the original valve that I had originally. And we also did a multi-angle valve job, bolt blending, and put back the same heads without having them planed down at all. We're using stock rockers. We upgraded the valve springs. We're going with the flat tappet hydraulic cam made by Lunati. Also meddling flat tappet hydraulic lifters that I've been lucky with for such a long time. And of course we detailed the engine. And here it is. So now I just want to break it in for another 5 minutes, warm it up, and see how it goes. Here we go. Okay, I'm sure it's going to start right away. Paint's burning off. I'm gonna give it 5 minutes. It's been a long time since I've got a small block on the dynamometer. I've done a lot of big blocks, come very often, but a small block and in blue, corporate blue, not too often. And especially a matching motor to the car. Brad, I hope you're watching because this is your engine on the dyno. I used to have a double AR CUDA, AAR CUDA many years ago with the 6-barrel back in the alley. You know, a few years after I bought the Hemi CUDA, I also had a double AR CUDA that I used to cruise around with. I overhauled the engine. Okay, then I didn't have a dynamometer. I overhauled the engine, put it in the car, and then I used it as a cruiser. And now I'm doing them here on the dynamometer. The paint's burning off, eh? Yeah, sure burned it. That's engine enamel, it's not made for exhaust, but anyways, that's the way they did it at the factory, that's the same way I did it. See if my absorber is going to hold it at the, we're going to start this engine at 2800 RPM and take it to 5000 RPMs at 300 RPMs per second. Okay, I'm just gonna do one quick test just to heat sink the block. We're only gonna take it to 5000 RPMs. And I want to adjust the absorber also at the same time, and here goes, hope it goes well.
Nick decides not to carry through with the first test. He noticed that the dyno load was only at about 82%. Optimal is closer to 95.
gonna have to adjust the absorber. Let's try it again. Okay, let's go. Here we go. Okay, it looks like I have to do some adjustments here. Wow, okay, not impressed with this. Something went wrong. Air fuel ratio very lean. Wow, okay, you know what? Well, you know what? Let me back up the timing. I think I got too much timing on it. I got it at 38, let me bring it to 36. Give me a few minutes and do it again. Okay. All right, let's go make another test. Ah, here we go. Here we go, one more time. Okay, let's see what we got. All right, we're gonna have to start playing with the timing. Oh wow, we need to rev this thing up. Oh yeah. Okay. Just look at my air fuel ratio. It's kind of running lean. Oh wow, we got 330 horsepower at 5,000 RPM, but it seems like we're gonna have to rev it a lot higher than that because it's still climbing. Torque, well, we got 368 foot-pounds of torque at 4,300 RPMs. So you know we need to go a lot higher on the RPM. Well, I was hoping to make the power around 5,000 RPM, but you know what? We'll bring the RPM up. It is a little screamer. It is a 340. That's what it's designed for. So we're gonna bring it higher. Here we go. I'm bringing it to 5.5. It is a matching motor to the car. You don't want to do any damage whatsoever, but you got to be careful. So now we're going to go to 5.5. I didn't achieve my goal of horsepower yet, so let's go another 500 RPM, you know, and take it from there. Let's hope it goes good. Okay, 5.5. We're going to start at 3,000 this time. Here we go. 3,000. This one too. Go. Let's just check my screen. 55, 3055. All right. Okay. After that, we're gonna have to. Yep.
As Nick is testing the 340 on his dyno, he gets a call from his brother Phil at the parts shop. Phil is a great help to Nick, crunching the numbers and helping pick the right parts for the builds, and making rush orders when things need to be done in a hurry.
Okay, so we're gonna go another 500 RPMs and see how it goes. Here we go. Fan on. O2 sensor on. And here we go. All right. Still not there. Okay. Oh, wow. You know what? We're going to have to richen it out because this thing is running very lean. Yep, it's running lean. Don't bother looking for making any further tests. Wow. We pulled out at 5,400 RPMs and it's still climbing. We have 339 horsepower. The torque numbers are practically at 369, 370 foot-pounds of torque at 4,200. But anyways, I can't go any further. I got to richen out the carburetor because it's running too lean. We have to richen it out. So should I play with that carburetor or go with the Thermoquad? I'm thinking about it. Or maybe just throw on the Thermoquad. How's the rear seal? Looks good, eh? What I'm going to do here now. Maybe I should go with the Thermoquad. Maybe I should go with the Thermoquad. I gotta change the jets on this. But you know, to open up this, it's a lot of pieces. I've also got a 750. I just want to richen it out a bit, but you know what? Let me see what I'm gonna do. Let me check something. Let me check my chart. Yeah. Yeah, it's running too rich. 0.6. Maybe I'll go with my 750. After all, the Thermoquad is an 800 CFM. I've got another Elder Block AVS here, which is a 750. I'm just going to throw it on just quick without taking off the top cover to change the jets. So I'm just going to try to keep it simple. All right, here we go. So let me take off this carb. Give me a few minutes and we'll get back to business. So we're just about done. Put the 750 on it. You know, it's a big carburetor, small engine, but you know what? I'll try it anyways. Here we go. But then again, they came with 800 CFMs on some applications. So you know what? Let me try it. What do we gotta lose? You know, I don't want to run it lean. That's the worst thing to do. Okay, this is on. This is good. Okay, I believe we have everything on it. Let me check here. These are the new carburetors from Elderbach with the AVS, which is the high performance version. Okay, let me put the fuel pump on, make sure there's no fuel leaks, and we'll take it from there. we have any fuel? Yes, we do. Okay. Let's crank it. Let's crank it over. Get it started. I think we're good. We have a small water leak in the front, which is leaking right at the bolt of the water pump. So I got to put a sealer on the threads. But that's not a concern. As long as there's no rear sealer leaking, I'm happy. All right. Let's get it going. Here we go. Wow, we're still there. Well, yeah, the torque was increased to 373 at 4,100 RPM. Horsepower, 344, and we still got to climb higher. We're at 5,400 RPM, and it's still climbing. Oh well, if you guys take a look at the graph, you see what I'm talking about. We're still stuck at 1 horsepower per cubic inch. I'm not happy. I want to do a little bit better than that. Air-fuel ratio is on the money with this one, so let's work with the 750. Let me just bring it up a little bit higher. Here we go. 5,400 RPM. I think we need to go higher. Bring it to 5,800. And torque came up a little higher, so we're gonna go to 32. Come on, Nick, let's get 360 at least. That was my goal. I haven't met the goal of 350 either. No good for me, man. Okay, we're gonna take a 3,200 to 5,800 RPM. Air-fuel ratio is on the money. I should give it a little bit more timing. Here we go. Just give it a little bit more timing. I'm gonna put it back where I marked it. Much easier, save me some time. Here we go. There we go. Perfect. Okay, I'm ready. Let's go. Fuel line is away from the exhaust manifold. Yes, it is. Okay, we're good. Wow, these manifolds have turned to white. Check this out. They've turned white. All right. Surprised they turned white. The air-fuel ratio is like 12.9, 13.0. Let's go. Make another test. Here we go. Let's do it. I'd like to see at least 360 horsepower. God, we're still stuck at 344, 345. Come on, Nick, we can do it, man. Here we go. Give me a sec. Let me get the O2 sensors on. I want to get 360, 370 if I can. You know, we have a lot of vacuum on. Should have put a bigger cam in this thing. Power. Okay, so it needs to be retarded. Okay, we need to retard the timing. Here we go. I guess it's at 38, 36 now. I'll bring it to 34. No, 340 horsepower, 334. That's it. Nope. Okay, we got to go the other way around. Let's go. Oh boy, come on. Let's make some horsepower on this thing. You know what, we still have a Thermoquad to try, but I'm going to keep trying this one here. Want to get the right timing on it. I set it at 34 degrees right now. Hopefully that does a little bit change. Okay. I also have the vacuum under the distributor, but then again, you know, even though I hooked the vacuum under the distributor, it shuts off at full throttle, so the timing is taken over by the mechanical advance. Okay, just give me a minute. We're going to get it running again, and then we'll take it from there. There we go. See what Chrysler has. Dodge, 1972, 340. 240 horsepower, sorry, 240 horsepower. And the torque numbers were 290. At 3,600 RPM. So at 290 foot-pounds of torque from the factory, and the horsepower was 240. 240 at 4,800 RPM. And now we're getting, well, this cam will really have to bring it up to 5,400 RPMs to get 340 horsepower. And this is brake horsepower, you guys. This is net horsepower. Net horsepower is when the alternator's on, the fan, power steering, and of course the water pump. Well, we're 100 horsepower over factory. Ah, come on, we can do better than that. Okay, I've retarded timing a little bit, so let's make another test. We'll take one at a time. George, put the fan on, please. Torque improved. Let me just take a look outside one thing. What's that, no? Got a nice rumble to it. Okay. That's we got 16 inches of vacuum, so we'll have power brakes, that's for sure. Oh, we're stuck at 344. That's it. Carburetor's doing good. Air fuel ratio is right on the money. 12.9, 13.0. Compression is 10.2 ratio. 10.2 compression ratio. It's a mild cam, flat tappet. We've got a 475 lift on the intake and a 494 lift on the exhaust. It's a mild cam. It's got a 220 on the intake duration and a 226 duration on the exhaust. Wow, I can't seem to be getting power to this. Wow. We can't get to 350. I can't believe it. Wow, I'm gonna have to do something with this here. Thermoquad, I'll leave it for last. I know this carburetor is working well. We've got the perfect air fuel ratio. CFM is what I want. It's good. I'm gonna play with timing a little bit. Maybe I'm going to retard it some more. We got like a 373 foot-pounds of torque at 4,300. 373. We're making some decent numbers on a 340. It is a basically stock overhaul. Just put a little cam. We did a bowl blending. We did a multi-angle valve job. But I was hoping to do better than that. Maybe I should have went with the other intake manifold, which I might do. So I might have to order one and see if it's going to improve anything. Maybe we'll just change the intake manifold. But you know what? I'm going to go to the Thermoquad. I'm going to retard the timing just a bit more and see what happens. Let's make one more test. Maybe the intake manifold's holding us back. That's what I think. Too bad. I would have loved to have this intake working on it. Yeah, would have been great. It's a stock appearance. It is cast iron. I'd love to use it. I remember doing a 340 a few years ago for Steve in Toronto. He pulled out a 340 with the exact same setup with his original carburetor, cast iron intake, exhaust manifolds, with practically a much more milder cam than this one here. Anyways, let's do another test. Okay, so I advanced the timing 2 more degrees. We're back at 36. I'm going to make another test before we go to the Thermoquad. But before I order the aluminum intake manifold, let's try again one more time at 36 degrees. Okay. You know what? Before I do anything, let me call my client on this first. So before I do any changes, let me see. Okay, here we go. The engine runs flawless, let me tell you. Wow, finally 350. There we go. Okay, even the torque went up. We're at 380 foot-pounds of torque at 4,300 RPM, and we got 350 horsepower at 5,500 RPM. Maybe I should advance the timing, maybe till 38. That's what I should do. Okay, we're on the right direction. Air fuel ratio looks good. Perfect. 12.9, 13.0, and check out the graph. I'm going to advance the timing 2 more degrees. I'll bring it to 38 and see what happens. So let me mark my distributor and we'll take it from there. Who knows? I'm going to call my client on this before I go into a cast iron. Before I go into the aluminum intake manifold. But you know what? Let's try the Thermoquad off in a minute. First of all, let me play with the timing one more time. Let me just mark it. This is a good number right there. Here we go. So be on the right track. There we go. Okay. Now at 2 degrees, we're at 38 now. Okay, give me a minute, we'll get it running. Then after that, we're going to go to the Thermoquad. Rear seal looks good. No leaks there.
Nick is already making numbers much better than factory with this stock appearing 340. But he's always looking for ways to do a little better.
Before I do anything further, let me call my client. I'll call Brad, see what he thinks. But in the meantime, I'll make another test here at 38 degrees. Then after that, we're going to go to the Thermoquad.
Nick sends his most recent results to his client, Brad. He knows he can do a little better with the aluminum intake, but he wants to leave it up to his client to make the decision.
Okay, let's leave that there. He's going to let us know. George, let's make another test. Now we're going to go with 38 degrees. After that, we're not going any further. We're going Thermoquad. Okay, cool down the water. All right. This engine sounds so smooth. 5,500 Hz, not a problem. Not a problem. No oil leaks whatsoever. Great. Okay. All right, let's get it started. I brought it to 38 degrees. Let's go. No, no changes, same thing. Okay, all right. Let me just check the previous test, just to take a look. Horsepower still at 350, 380 foot-pounds of torque, 378, 378. So I'm gonna put the timing where it was at 36, 37, and then let's go to the Thermoquad. Here we go. Well, this Thermoquad I've had for a while. It came off a mid-70s 400, and it says 800 CFM Thermoquad HP, so it's high performance. You know, I've never had a Thermoquad on my dyno. Lately I've been getting a lot of rare things, so let's keep testing, and hopefully it goes well. Okay, we got fuel. We got a Thermoquad 800 CFM on top of this 340. You know, I haven't never tried a Thermoquad on my dynamometer. As a matter of fact, this engine came with a Thermoquad from the factory, I believe. And I also kept the original cast iron intake manifold. So we did some dyno testing with the Elder Block AVS2, which is a 750 CFM, versus right now the Thermoquad 800 CFM. So let's get it started. So what we do. I'm trying new things lately. What's come through my door here is unreal what's coming through. Max wedges, long induction systems, Hemis, 6-packs. Now a small block we're building with a Thermoquad. Okay, let's go. Wow. Crazy about it. It's one thing I didn't want to pay with the Thermoquad right now. Oh wow. Okay. Wow, it ran very rich. I'm not happy with it. Okay. 334 horsepower. But it's no good, you guys. It's running very lean, so I'm not going to be going with that. It's got a 13.8, 13.9, 14.0 air-fuel ratio. I'm going to cook the pistons if I keep going, so I'm not going to go with the Thermoquad. I need to go with bigger jets on it. Now, it's time consuming to work on this Thermoquad. Well, let me see what I'm going to do. 334 at 5300. I'm going to have to play with this carburetor. You know, it's running way too lean. I'm not going to do any further testing. I just did one test with the Thermoquad. It ran kind of lean by a full number. We have like a 13.8, 13.9. I'd like to bring it down to 12.9, 13.0. But anyways, we're off about 15 horsepower and about 10 foot-pounds of torque. And I know if I work out this Thermoquad, if I take it apart to change the jets and equal the air-fuel ratio with my AVS Edelbrock carburetor, which is a 750, I'm sure that the horsepower and the torque are going to be the same numbers. So I'm not going to go any further testing on this because I'm not going to take it apart and play with the jets. But I know it's going to be an equal horsepower and torque readings, the Thermoquad versus the AVS Edelbrock, which I have. But in the meantime, I just spoke with my client. He tells me, Nick, let's try the air gap aluminum intake, which I'm going to get maybe tomorrow. So when I receive it, I'm going to put it on and try it out, and I'm going to go back to the Edelbrock because I like to get the correct air-fuel ratio without tampering any carburetors. I'm not going to take this apart. I'll stay with the AVS 750 CFM, which worked pretty good. We got some good numbers, and you know what? We'll stay with that. Because, you know, I got to get moving. I got 2 marine engines outside that I got to test side by side in the next few days. But an intake will be replaced tomorrow when I receive it on this 340, so I can do some further testing. And I'll keep you guys posted to tell you what happens.
After discussing things with Nick, the client decided to go for the aluminum intake. And the results speak for themselves. 390 foot-pounds of torque and 358 horsepower. Not bad.
I also want to say to my viewers that talk about the Thermoquad that makes a lot more power, but sorry, I can't put much time on it because I know you guys are expecting a lot from it. From what I see today, this is what it is, and you know what, maybe on another future engine, I'll work on it more for you Thermoquad fans. And thanks for watching us here on Nick's Garage. And you guys, if you look down below the video, we have a whole bunch of merchandise that you guys can buy. So whatever you like, buy it, love it, wear it, and enjoy it. And help spread the word of Nick's Garage. And if you have some time, check out our Patreon page. We have extra content and you guys can watch it and take it from there. And we'll see you next time.